this on the vlog, this is the top 38 deck profile, and for these just watching it as a separate video on YouTube, go check out the vlog. It was a very fun tournament. But this is my top 38, so 38th place after 10 rounds of Swiss at UK Nationals 2023 Kashtira deck profile. I will say this for those who don't know, this deck, I was very, very uncertain about my list by the end of it. I only uploaded it by 7:30 because I was told to, and I made very last minute changes as well and was testing it all week. So I'm not too sure if this is the best list, but it was a fun list and I took it to Nationals, went XO. If you want to know the pairings and everything, go check out the vlog because I go into deep discussion about a lot of the rounds and talk about them there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile so you guys on YouTube can see this, and if you're watching this on the vlog, hey, it was a fun day, and I hope you did enjoy all the vlog content as well. So let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. So we play the obvious free Kashtira Unicorn, standard, searches your spells, free Fenris, standard, searches your monsters, and also goes ahead and banishes stuff face down. We played one Ogre. This was by far the worst card in the deck. I sided out every game. It was a last minute choice, but you know what? It was there basically for more consistency, so we had more monsters. One Kashtira Scarecrow, like this card, just insane. Free summon, banishes stuff from grave, negates opponent's effects. Card is really good and really powerful and won me a lot of games. And then the last Kashtira monsters is 2 Kashtira Rise Hearts. This is pretty standard. You play 2 of it, it banishes something from the deck and allows you to banish top 3 cards in your opponent's deck. Going into hand traps, we played free Droll and Lockbird. This is a Droll format where if you activate Droll and Lockbird, you're most likely going to win. And every time I dropped this, I won. And I'm going to be honest, guys, this was also a Gamma format because of Droll. And I played around Gamma like no tomorrow. And because I played around Gamma like no tomorrow, every time my opponent did something, search with them, you know, before they get a monster on the board, I let it go through and then waited for them to have a monster, search again, drolled them, and they just passed. Like, generally, they needed more ways to search, so they lost most of their games because of that. So, yeah, play around Gamma, it's not a good card in my opinion. Right, so, continuing on for hand traps, we also played free Ash Blossom Joyous Springs, standard hand trap, one of the best hand traps in the game. Every time I used it, it was great. There was only one time I made a misplay where I took this instead of something else, and that did cost me the game, but I proceeded to win the match anyway. Then, one of the most important hand traps in the deck, free Dimensional Shifter. This card, absolutely insane. This card is essentially Macrocosmos. We drop it, we can't get drolled, we can't get hit by literally anything. It kills Mathmech, it kills so many decks, and it's just a Macrocosmos on legs, which is absolutely insane. And then the last hand trap, which I actually kind of wish I played more of, Ghost Mourner and Moonlit Chill. This was a last minute choice that I put in, and honestly, throughout the event, I kind of wish I saw it more. I only saw it twice throughout the entire event, and every time I activated it, it won me the game. So, card, it was very, very strong, and if I did play Kashtira after the ban list, especially that we saw, I would play more of it, definitely. Like, I think it's just insane. Obviously, we'd have to see how the format shapes up, but I think the card was just really, really good. Going on to spells, standard, we're playing free Pressure Planet with the 1 Terraforming, more consistency, searches any of our Kashtira monsters, and also pop stuff as well, which is really, really strong. Then free Theosis, technically a brick on its own, but it's still a really, really strong card where if we have another Kashtira monster and we've opened it, we can go ahead and activate it, special summon Kashtira from the deck, and then we can later on banish it from the graveyard with something like Kashtira, or banish it with Rise Heart. So go ahead and add a banished Kashtira card to our hand. So the card is very important. It's a free summon and also just a free add back. It's just really nice. Free Kashtira Birth. This card is the heart and soul of pure cash. I don't care what anyone says. Like, this gives you the ability to normal summon under any of your monsters if you control a monster. This gives you revival. This goes ahead and banish stuff from your opponent's graveyard. This card is amazing interaction and is just very, very strong. Free Pot of Prosperity. This card was insane throughout the whole tournament. I wish I saw it a lot more, but there was times where I didn't, where I can just banish important extract cards, which you'll see in a moment. So go ahead and look at the top 6, add 1 to hand, and go from there. Then we played 2 Tactical Talents. This was just something I was fine with at 2. Like, the whole theory behind this is obviously your opponent's playing Kashtira, they activate their effect, or they're playing Pearly, for instance, they activate the Pearly effect, you steal their monster, you steal their card, and then you just go ahead and turn it into a Zeus. Like, you make a Zeus, you clear the board. It's just a great card, and you can even, if your opponent draws you or something, you can go ahead and look at their hand and then just rip a card. Like, the card's pretty strong. And then the last spell is one called by the grave because, you know, more ways to out the Droll and Lockbird, right? Just stop the Droll and Lockbird. I only saw it once throughout the whole tournament as well. Like, didn't draw it a single time other than one game against a Pearly player, and it won me the game because I stopped his Droll and Lockbird. So, GG's to that. And then for the traps, we played 3 Infinite Impermanence, absolutely insane trap card, absolutely insane hand trap, doesn't trigger tactical talents, and also can just negate whenever you want, which is really, really strong. And then the last trap card is 1 Kashtira Big Bang, standard in the deck because it summons from your Shangri-La. So, card is insane. Going on to the extra deck though, we played standard, or, well, this is standard to me. I think some people play 3, but in pure cash, but I played 2 Kashtira Rise Heart. Never needed the third, don't think I ever really wanted the third. Like, it's just good enough at 2, and I'm fully happy with that 2. I don't think it needs to be up more. 2 Shangri-La, this doesn't need to be up more than 2 as well. You play the first one, you go ahead and lock out the zones, and if they can out it, you're normally going to make the second one just so you can turn it into a Zeus or another Rise Heart. 1 Big Eye, standard, steals your opponent monsters. 1 Dark Armed, the Dragon of Annihilation. This card is very insane just for the fact that it's not once per turn, and can also go ahead and banish that Theosis in your graveyard to go ahead and just give you a free add back, which is really, really nice. 1 Diabolus, it's banned now, but it goes ahead and banishes half your opponent's deck. There was multiple times throughout the entire tournament where I banished literally 20 cards from my opponent's deck on turn 2 and just was able to win because they didn't have the stuff in deck. And then 1 Red Eyes, never summoned it, but the whole point of it is obviously time on the round if we do get past the 45 minutes, but it never came up, so hey, it is what it is. And the last 6 monsters is 2 AA Arsenal Zeus for the obvious reasons of 1, we don't want it banned by our opponent's Diabolus, and 2, it clears the board. So really, really strong card. And then non-Xyz monsters, we played 1 Fossil Skull Wagon and 1 Fossil Skull Knight. These are really, really strong, and cards we banish off Prosperity for the fact that these both have effects when they're in the graveyard where you can go ahead and banish them to go ahead and do various things. This one can banish to destroy a spell card on the field, so I've used this multiple times to go ahead and out my own anti-spell fragrance which has side, or a monster on my board with the Skull Knight, because it can go ahead and destroy monsters to just go ahead and free up my board and let me play the game, or kill stuff on my opponent's board and then proceed to play the game from there. These are both very, very strong cards, and in Kashtira, just attaching them to the Arise Heart and then the Arise Heart getting outed, it's just really, really strong. So these are mandatory in the extra deck in my personal opinion if you're playing pure cash. Then 1 Baron, didn't summon it once, but it's there just because we summon a Kashtira, we summon Ash or Moonlit Chill, and we turn it into that. And then for the links, we played 1 Goliath. I honestly never attached it to Rise Heart, so it didn't come up. And 1 Lingeribo because, well, Ibly Lock, and we did actually get Ibly Locked once throughout the entire tournament, but it actually, funny enough, it was a misplay, and that misplay considered to win in the game. So check out the vlog if you want to know that full story. I'm not going into it here. And then for side deck for the actual tournament, we played 3 Kurikara because it's absolutely insane. We didn't really see it much outside of the game where I talked about a second ago, but the card is absolutely insane. It goes ahead and tributes your opponent's Rise Heart, tributes your opponent's Pearly monsters. Card is really, really insane. 1 Harpy's Duster for back row removal, 2 Dark Ruler for Super Heavyweight Samurai, 2 Cosmic Cyclone for anti-spells, 2 Book of Moon for cash mirror matches, 2 Enemy Controller for cash mirror matches, and then 3 anti-spell for any match that I go first because of every deck plays spells, and I'm gonna lock you out from playing the game. And this won me my round 10 match as well. So yes, very, very strong. So yeah, guys, that was the deck profile. You guys watching the vlog when this video continues. For you guys watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.